All right, up next is The Accountant 2. Jamie, did you see that?
I did. I saw that at South by.
Cool. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Christian Wolff applies his brilliant mind and illegal methods to reconstruct the unsolved puzzle of the Treasury chief's murder. Of course, this is the follow-up to The Accountant from 2016. This film, of course, brings back Gavin O'Connor in the director's chair. Ben Affleck, Jon Bernthal, Cynthia Adai Robinson, and J.K. Simmons reprise their roles. Jamie, I'll let you go first. You watched this thing at South by back in March. And knowing I know you've seen both part one and part two. What is your take on this film?
I enjoyed it. I'm not a fan of sequels. I didn't see really a need for a sequel to The Accountant, but it was a fun movie. I really love the chemistry between Bernthal and Affleck. Bernthal stole every single scene. He's so incredible in this. And it was also nice to see Daredevil and Punisher, together in the movie.
How about that?
He took my thunder. That's where I was going.
So yeah, it was great. And it was so funny because watching it with a South by crowd, the scene where Ben Affleck's character goes country line dancing. Oh my gosh, the crowd went wild. And at first I was like, why is this crowd going so crazy over this scene? And then my colleagues were like, girl, you're in
You're in
Texas.
Texas.
That's why they're going crazy over this scene. I was like, okay, all right. So, but yeah, it was good. I mean, I wasn't like this is the best movie, but I enjoyed it for what it was.
No, it's not Sinners, man. But I think for me, what I loved, and I shared this with Charles earlier, is that it felt like if you put part one and part two together, you did like a nice edit, you would have like 4.5 hours of The Accountant or 4 hours plus of The Accountant. And it's a really interesting story thinking about when Jamie said, I didn't see a need to make part two. Jamie, one word, franchise. there's
Yeah.
gonna be a part three because Matt got a franchise. I need a franchise, so I create my own. I'm doing The Accountant. So I think it's really interesting and I would agree with you about
It
Bernthal.
was such a long span. It's what, 9 years between
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but
been
they
a
they
long
both?
picked
time.
it. They picked the story right back up where I just felt like when you watch him riding off into the sunset in part one, and then we come into this, and now we introduce this young lady. So I loved what they did with the story. Now I'm not gonna say it's one of the best films of the year because it is not. Is it entertaining? Can you go to the movie theater, go to the concessions and get you some popcorn and candy and something to drink, and you sit there and you're like, "Ooh, Ben's kicking butt. Bernthal doing his thing." I thought the movie was entertaining for what it is, right? Every movie doesn't have to be Sinners, right? But the movie does need to be entertaining, and I thought The Accountant 2 did that. So, Jamie, after having a couple of months to think about this movie, what did you give it grade wise?
Grade wise, I give it B minus.
You know what? And I'm with you on that one. I probably wouldn't give it a whole B. I think I gave it like 3.5 stars. So that's either B minus or a B. So I think it accomplishes the goal. It's better than what Charles watched this week. I'll tell you that
Yeah,
much. Now,
sounds like